Welcome back to the show, guys. You've got a very interesting magazine right there.
I'm checking this out. Childview, put out by WorldVision, a great way of connecting you to the work that WorldVision is doing all over the world.
And, you know, as I've told you a number of times on the show, and we've had WorldVision on the show a number of times, I have a very special connection with them because I had the opportunity a couple of years ago to travel over to Africa and see the amazing work that they're doing really on the front lines.
Well, I'm happy you brought that up because I was just about to say, we see tons of celebrities who support this cause. I was going to say celebrities, including our very own Travis Danrush, who go out and help support this event, but not only because they feel a connection to the issues, but they want to bring more attention to it. I think that's just so wonderful.
Well, you know, it's unfortunate that a lot of folks don't have the same resources to be able to travel to some of these countries and see the work that WorldVision is doing. And that's why this magazine is so great. It has been around for sponsors of WorldVision for the past 30 years. There's been a rebrand kind of Childview magazine, and it looks stunning. We've been looking through it during the commercial break, and the photography is stunning.
And of course, the issues that it focuses on as well, but it's a great way of connecting you to issues that are all over the world, and sometimes that you never feel like you never can touch, and now it's tangible.
And now it is tangible.
Yes.
We've got the editor of Childview magazine in studio joining us right now. Christy Woodstra joins us from WorldVision. Thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations on the rebrand of the magazine. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Just tell viewers out there, if they're not familiar with Childview magazine, what it is and some of the content that you cover.
Well, it goes out 4 times a year to all of our child sponsors, and it has a circulation of about 350,000 in English and French. It is actually, like you mentioned, we just did a complete brand redesign, but part of that was going online. And so we actually, anyone can access the magazine now, but we have created a completely interactive magazine. We're going the way of the iPad and trying to be, a little bit more forward thinking. And we've created a magazine that has multimedia, video, audio. You can hear stories of child sponsorship, of all the issues that we try to cover, which are very cutting edge and relevant to Canadians. And so if people want to learn about our work, they can access it online now.
Fantastic. So I mentioned really connecting people to something that could seem so far away at times.
Exactly.
Is that was the main objective here?
Well, that's what we say. We try to go from us and them to a global we. And I feel that the magazine acts as a bridge between child sponsors and the children that they sponsor by helping them to understand the everyday issues, because it's really difficult to understand how another person lives. And so we try to virtually put you in that child's shoes and to understand what child sponsorship is about, what WorldVision's about, and really what everyday life is about in a developing country, because it's a completely foreign idea.
Well, it is, and it was interesting. We were chatting in the lobby, before we started the show, and there are so many issues. You think about child poverty, that's only one of the issues. You look at so many different things in the magazine. Just talk to some of the issues that you focus on.
Well, maybe talk about some of my favorite stories. One has been child brides in Afghanistan. It's a huge issue in Afghanistan, and it's where children as young as 10 or actually even younger, sometimes 8, in rural villages are literally being sold because parents don't have enough money to feed their families. So they sell their daughters into marriage. Usually the husbands are 50, 55, 60. They have multiple wives, and they will marry girls as young as 8. And that's just for the parents to try to help feed their other children. Wow. And so we address that issue. Other issues that I've really learned a lot about and have really touched me are maternal mortality, and that's women dying in childbirth. A very difficult topic is FGM, which is female genital mutilation.
Right. Heard a lot about this in the past
in Ethiopia.
Sadly, I have as well. I'm curious though, with all these things that seem so negative and so hurtful and harmful, how do you remain positive as WorldVision?
It's funny, people say that to me a lot when you go over and report on a story, like, how does this not completely destroy you? And I have to say, like, a little piece of me goes, every time I learn something new, it completely changes me. But I feel like it gives me so much more because it makes me a better person, and it actually motivates me. When you read about these stories, it's like, we can make a change. We can make a difference, and whether that's through child sponsorship in WorldVision, we truly can make a difference in people's lives. as Canadians. Like, you know, it's we just little bits. We don't have to change the world, you know. And so when I meet these people, I feel like, you know, not only they've completely changed my life, and hopefully by telling the world about their story, I can help, you know, open other people's eyes to how they can change people's lives too.
Well, we have some photos we can take a look at, and hopefully we open some people's eyes taking a look at them. Let's take a look at some of the photos of some of the work that World Vision has been doing around the world. And Christy, please tell us where these photos were taken. Who's this little fellow?
This was taken in northern Kenya, in Turkana region, and this is actually the cover of our first issue, which the theme is home. And she's a sponsor child, and she's basically just welcoming you to her home. That's her home in the background.
What a great way to open the magazine.
Yeah, I just love her face.
Yeah,
she's gorgeous.
We've got a couple of photos here, I think, coming up of previous issues of the magazine. I guess this is the back.
This is the back of the issue, yep. And so on the back of every issue, we talk about child sponsorship and ways that you can sponsor a child. And so this was the back. I'm not positive where this was taken, but you know, just her eyes are so compelling, really draw you in.
So telling. And as I mentioned, you know, the magazine has been around for 30 years now. This is just some of the fantastic photography that in those 30 years you've taken. Talk about when you're choosing a photographer. What are some of the qualities that you look for?
Well, I have really high standards. I have a journalism background, and I really want to hire, you know, excellent photographers who can understand the issue and have a heart for the issue. So I really look for someone who has an interest and compassion and passion for justice issues and poverty issues. And so I really look for really good photographers.
And as Deja mentioned, it can be very emotional for you as an editor, but even more so, I would imagine, for a photographer who is there on the front line. And how do you help them kind of cope or deal, or how do you prepare them for what they're about to witness?
Even on the way home afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We definitely meet with photographers beforehand and talk to them about what they're about to see. And on the back end too, we try to stay in touch with them. And so it's really just storytelling and sharing with them. You become friends with some of these like journalists and photographers, and just try to help them through some of the things that they've seen. And it's interesting how it changes their lives and how it motivates them to do even more, and they want to work even more with World Vision.
As you said, it is obviously a privilege to be able to travel to some of these regions and tell these stories. We're going to be back with you after the break, and we're going to talk a bit more about how folks can get involved with World Vision and get a copy of this magazine if they want to, and also talk a bit more about the online aspect of things. Of course, Childview magazine, you can check it out online. The website is worldvision.ca/childview. We're going to be back talking with the editor, Christy, right after the break. All right.
Thanks, Christy.
Yeah, it's great.
Compelling photos.
Isn't it unbelievable?
Yeah.
We're so privileged. Like, I was telling Travis that the photographer who did this story in Vancouver, when we contacted